Hi, this is Carrie from Tone Wars. We're going to go live in just a few minutes, but before we do, I just wanted to take a few seconds to say a few things. Jared and I really appreciate when you guys tune in and interact with us when we go live. We work very hard to make sure that our live streams and our produced videos are educational and entertaining for everyone. Believe it or not, there's a lot of work that goes into our live streams and our produced videos. So if you like what you're experiencing here, here's a couple ways you can help us out. The Super Chat feature is turned on, and any amount will be appreciated. Jared is also available for private consultation for a nominal fee. You can contact Jared through two of the links below. One is through our Tone Wars Facebook page, and the other is through email. So thank you so much for your support. The live stream's about ready to start, so go pour yourself your favorite glass of whiskey or other libation, and we'll be right with you. Cheers!
Welcome to Tone Wars.
All right. We are live. Welcome to Wednesday night edition of Tone Wars.
Yes.
We are here tonight with John Bingham.
That's right, from BAD Group.
Right,
What's
Boutique
happening?
Amp Distributors or Distribution.
Yep, distributors.
Distribution.
Distribution is French.
We have been chatting about whiskey and scotch and
all kinds of stuff.
right. Hey, the little Word document is gone.
Yeah, I'll pull it up in a second here.
All right.
Yeah,
At this point in time, because of my show, I'm so used to just doing whiskey while I have this.
Yes.
Turning lush. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
That's right.
So John has his own YouTube channel called Whiskey and Wires, and that's just like he said. He tries new whiskeys and talks about it, and we wanted him to suggest something for us to try. We're gonna have to go out and buy it and try next time.
Yes, we will.
Sounds like Carrie would very much like a Lafroig.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If I can say it, Lafroig.
I don't like it at all.
No?
But,
You never know, right?
She likes the smoky stuff.
I do.
And this one's smoky.
I wasn't gonna tell you that I hate IPAs, so the one that you're drinking, I don't know if I would like it or not.
Really good. I love it. Everybody's got a taste.
Yeah.
As long as we're drinking together.
There's a Jack for every Jill, right? Isn't that what they say? So yeah.
I like there's a seat for every ass.
Yeah.
Not for every feet. One of the two of us.
Sure.
That works too, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's a seat for every ass.
It's something like that. I might be saying it backwards. So, do you have any idea if a lot of your subscribers and listeners are local to your area, or if they're spread across the whole country?
They're everywhere, all over the world. Actually, we have some local people, and we have people in Israel, Egypt, France, Germany, Australia. I mean, there's people
South America.
America.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
oh, nice.
Yeah, everywhere. And if I left anybody out, I apologize. I'm just kind of.
Did you say Australia?
Yeah, I said Australia.
Yes.
Yep, we have friends from down under. Yeah, so yeah, so we have people all over the place, and
Sure.
so I mean, you guys distribute everywhere pretty much, right?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I was asking because I didn't know if a lot of the folks out there realize that I'm from your neck of the woods.
That's right. Westland area, right?
Yeah, Westland. The world famous Westland, Michigan.
Oh, it's so
now, how
famous.
long has it been since you've been here?
I left. See, how old am I?
You escaped?
15 years ago.
Okay.
Wow.
15 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd stay where you are.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
LA, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my brother moved to California and Oceanside about, how long has it been since he's lived out there? It's been at least 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And he'll never come back. He loves
Yeah.
California. I mean, every day's beautiful, and yeah, he loves it out there. So
Jay from Warm Chord Music wants to know if you have had a whiskey called 3 Chord.
I have not.
You don't want to.
But
It
Oh,
tastes like
really?
shoe. Tastes like shoe leather. It's
I
We
awful.
bought-
literally just grabbed a pen because I was gonna write it down, but now I'm.
I mean, maybe you would like it because he likes the IPA stuff.
Do you
but
have a shoe fetish?
it tastes like shoe leather.
It tastes like shoes.
Nope, I haven't. I have not chewed on any shoes.
No.
We bought it on
My
a
dog
whim.
might like it.
We bought it on a whim because of the cord, like 3 chord.
Yeah, it sounded fun,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, I don't know. So your brother loves it out here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd stay out here for life.
Yeah.
It's like, you know that old Neil Diamond song, I am, what is it? I am, I said.
Yeah.
The first lyric in the song says, LA's fine, the sun shines all the time, and the rents are low.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
anymore.
Wait a minute, say what? I'm living in a broom closet for like $2,300 a month.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Dude.
It really is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's had to make some adjustments to it, but I mean, I went out and visited him several years ago, and I was like, oh my God, it's like paradise. Like we went to La Jolla,
Oh, yeah.
we went to Mission Beach, and all that, and it was just incredible. I mean, it's just weird. It's not often you get to peek over like the railing to the ocean and you see a bunch of seals down there just doing seal stuff, and it's
Sure,
like
sure.
Doing whatever seals do.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. The plants and the different vegetation there. It's like
Yeah.
outer worldly. It's like we don't see anything like that here. So
I remember the first time I saw a plant called a bird of paradise.
yeah.
I was like, what is this? Just blown away and thinking like, this is the most tropical thing. And now I'm like, they're everywhere. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
like-
they're-
Just like the pine tree here in Michigan.
exactly. It's like a dandelion.
exactly.
That's a California dandelion.
Yeah.
Well, real quick,
Yeah.
just to get to know you before we
Sure.
get into the real questions. What
Yeah.
are your hobbies? What do you do in your spare time? Are you in a band? What kind of music?
am. I play guitar as a hobby.
Okay.
I am a very bad golfer. And this is brand new to me. I decided that I needed an old man hobby, and my choices in my head were, okay, my old man hobby is going to be either golf or fishing. And because there's not a lot of fresh water out here, which is what I grew up around,
Mhm.
I decided not to bother with the fishing part because I don't really feel like learning saltwater.
Yeah.
So I decided golf, and I am so bad at it. It's really
Me too.
frustrating. I also thought in my head, you know what? If I do golf, it's going to be kind of cerebral like guitar. There's a lot of finesse involved and this and that. And then as I'm like playing it, I'm kind of like, hey, I'm not terrible at this. I'm not terrible at this, but I'm also really bad at it at the same time. And I realized, shit, it's just like when I play guitar.
No difference.
That's funny. I've tried
Yeah.
so many times to like golf, and I just can't. I can't like it.
You can't like watching it?
Oh God.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Watching it is worse than playing it.
I haven't gotten into that yet. I have a couple of friends that like will watch it, and I'm like, eh.
No.
No, thank you.
Well, it's like watching paint dry for me. So yeah,
Right.
not my thing.
Yeah.
Well, just
Yeah, I
so,
hear you.
so our audience knows, I will be manning the chat room. We will try to integrate your questions along with our interview instead of just waiting until the end. We will have a Q&A at the end of our interview with him
Yes.
for you guys. So if I happen to miss something along the way, you feel free to repeat it, and just make sure that you tag Tone Wars. That way it'll really stand out to me that this is meant to be a question for
Yes.
the interview.
And when we're talking about certain subjects, you feel free to chime in and tone wars us on that too,
Yep.
so we can
Sure.
make sure that you have a chance to interject before we move on to the next topic and stuff like that.
Sure.
So
All right,
Yeah,
so let's
absolutely.
jump right in.
yeah, let's do it. So you're taking the first one, right?
Oh, I can do that.
All right.
How did you get involved with Botique Amps, with BAD?
Okay, so I was working for Korg actually before this, and I'd been with Korg for a few years. I bought a Dirty Shirley from Dave Friedman because Dave also did my amp repair stuff for maybe a year or so. I'll give you the long-winded version of this story.
Fun.
So I had purchased a Buddha Super Drive 30, which is a really cool sounding amp if you've ever heard one before. And it was fantastic until it wasn't, and it had a problem where I was getting this ground hum out of it, and I took it to 3 different amp repair guys here in Los Angeles, and nobody could solve it. And then I took it to Dave and learned that Dave actually designed the front end of that amp, which I didn't know. All the Super Drive series, Dave had designed the front end of those for what's his name, Jeff Bober, the guy that owns East Amps now, but he used to own Buddha. So anyway, he fixed it, and that kind of sprung my relationship with Dave to where it was like, okay, he's my guy now. I'm going to use him. And then the next time I met him was when I wanted to buy that Dirty Shirley. So I bought the Shirley from him, and the first time I turned it on when I got it home, it didn't work. And
Oh gosh.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
It's the
Because
worst.
he lives like 25 miles away from me, so in LA traffic, it's a hike.
Yeah.
So anyway, I called him and I said, hey, this is what happened. I think there's something wrong with the switch mechanism in this and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, yeah, that sucks. The part must be faulty or whatever. So he said, come down to Boutique Amps facility tomorrow. If you can, I'll be there, and you can, and I'll fix it for you on the spot. I'm really sorry to inconvenience. He was very cool. So anyway, I go down to Boutique Amps, and as I'm there, I'm just sitting with him at his bench as he fixes it, and it literally was what he said. It was like, the like whatever the switch was that was in it, it just failed. So we put a new switch in. It's been rock solid ever since. But while I was there, he was just, we were just chit chatting, and I was picking on a guitar and whatever, and he said, Avi's looking for a new sales guy to manage North America. And he said, would you be interested in doing it? And I said, I'm always interested in a conversation, but I was,
Yeah.
I was with the other company, so I was okay. And then out of nowhere, I get thrust into this room with like him and Avi, and I'm getting grilled. Like, I'm wearing a pair of freaking shorts, by the way, and a Star Wars t-shirt, looking like an absolute scrub.
Must
then
have
I'm
worked
hearing,
for him,
like,
though.
what do you know about the dealer network, and what do you know about amps, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what is going on here? There's a hidden camera in the room somewhere. And anyway, then like 2 days later, I get a phone call from this guy. And he's like, yeah, I'd love to have you come in. And it's like, what? Turns out he's offering me a job. So yeah, that's that's pretty much the very
You
long
fell into it.
version of it. Was there was a lot in common between us, me and Dave, and then it just so happened there was a lot in common between Avi and I as well. And so it just sort of happened, and I would rather do that than work with keyboards from the standpoint that I'm a guitar player. So
Yeah.
it made a lot more sense, and I was like, yes, good, let's do it.
Well, it's more in your wheelhouse, right? So why not, right? I mean,
Oh
that's,
yeah.
it just makes more sense.
It's absolutely a dream job for a guy like me, because
Sure.
it was, I've always wanted to be in the music business, and I have been. I've worked in this business since I've been about 25, and there's no place else that will take me. I mean, there's no place else that I'd rather be. That's what I mean.
That's what it is.
Right.
It's nice when it falls into your lap like that,
yeah.
too. That's
Right.
the best. You're not out there hunting for it. They
Sometimes,
want you.
Yeah, sometimes the best opportunities are the ones you didn't see coming.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
totally.
and you're like, I never thought in a million years I would be here, but here I am, and it's kind of cool. So,
Yeah, my buddy, it's funny. My buddy Chris, who I play in a band with, I didn't mention that earlier. We talked about golf, but I also do a band.
What's it called?
The Pork Chop Express.
The Pork Chop
Express.
Yeah, that's a throwback to Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh.
I'm a fan of that. Where it
I love
was
that
named
movie.
that ironically because everybody in the band happened to be like this massive fan of this obscure movie, and we all kind of fell upon it with each other one night, and so that's where that name came from. But
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's the
It's
best.
the best. I can quote it all day.
We do that here in LA, and what we do is we do hard rock. We do like hard rock and metal covers of all things that we could do. We're doing like 70s, 80s, and 90s covers of like everything from Tin Lizzy to Alice in Chains and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a really fun band. It's a party band basically. So anyway, getting back to getting back to what we were talking about, um, I've lost my train of thought.
That's okay. We were just
Oh,
wrapping up how you got involved with Boutique Amps.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. Well, not that that wasn't good,
Right.
but let's get to the juicy stuff that everybody's waiting
Been
for.
messaging about, huh?
So all
Ooh.
right, and we're gonna talk about the Fryette. We're gonna talk about that stuff. So hang in there, guys. And
Ooh.
yeah, so
I will
basically, go,
I will warn you ahead of time. There may be some questions where I say if I don't give you a satisfactory answer because I don't know,
that's
Hmm.
fine.
I you guys can throw my email out there for people, or if anybody reaches out to you privately, you can do that and I'll answer any questions after the fact, because there will be some stuff that inherently I just won't know because this COVID thing has shaken up a
Sure.
lot of stuff.
The
Yeah,
So
whole country,
no,
yeah.
I get
The
it.
whole world, right?
I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. So what brands are you guys involved with, and how did you get involved with them?
now, are you referring specifically to Synergy?
Yeah, we can talk about Synergy for now, and then we can do the
Okay.
add-ons afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, so with Synergy, let me roll through these. I'm gonna try to get them all. Bogner, Friedman, Morgan, Metropolis, Egnator, VHT, Fryette, I should say. Um, Angle, Diesel. What am I missing, Jared? Soldano.
Yep. Soldano. Trying to look around
Um,
the room at what I
Right.
have.
Which ones
yeah,
are you?
yeah,
What
exactly.
do I
I'm
got?
I'm
Oh,
trying to think without looking at the pile.
well,
Is that
I
Um,
got the TDLX here.
right,
Is
but
that like a custom?
that was a Bruce Ignator design.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so
What else
there's a
do I
few of
have?
them that are Bruce designs, that are, I don't want to say they're holdovers from the old days. They're updated. They're all updated, but
Okay.
so one of the things with Synergy that we talk about a lot, and is a big talking point, is the way that things are done today is every single preamp module that's made is made directly with the company that makes the real amp. So if we're
Okay.
going to make, say, a Powerball, for example, the Powerball is the design of that module is coming directly from Angle, and
Okay.
then we put ears on it, and there's comparisons that happen between the real amp and the preamp itself. And if there are any issues with it, we'll send it back over to Angle and say, this is kind of our notes. Go back through it and see what you think. And there's a little bit of a hashing out that happens. And then when everybody's like, yeah, this is it, then it's it. And so with those relationships, we use those names because the companies that design them are officially licensed. It's official. They design it, they get commissions on the sell through of it, so their companies are compensated for it, and therefore the relationship is great because it's mutual.
Gotcha.
Some of the preamp designs, you will not see the proper name on it, and those are the holdovers from when Bruce was doing all the designs himself. So for
Oh.
example, the TW Deluxe would be a twin deluxe, a twin on one channel, a deluxe on the other, but we can't call it a Fender because it was
Ah.
this
I see.
before there was this shared partnership. And you see the
Okay.
same thing with the B man instead of the bassman.
Oh. Okay. Well, that.
Right.
Okay. So basically, like, I'm gathering what you're saying here. So like, you guys
Yep.
will make the module after their preamp section, and then
No, no, they're making the module.
they are. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do the board design. We have the housings and all that stuff. Like we design, it obviously has to be a specific housing
Mm-hmm.
because it's got to fit into the docks. So
Yeah.
we have a platform effectively that we use, but they're doing all of the
Like
they're
this
doing
right
the
here.
integrated circuit on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like this guy right here. So this is that. So you guys basically supply the housing. They fill it with all their stuff then, pretty much,
pretty
right?
much. Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm asking some stuff that maybe some other people are wondering about, so you have a chance to
Yeah.
clarify some things, because there's some people are wondering like, where are these made? Is this like a knockoff thing, or is this like the real deal? So what you're
Yeah.
saying is this is the absolute real deal.
Yeah, the guys that have their names on the product are actually the ones that are designing the preamp circuit.
Okay, good.
Warm Chord Music, Jay from Warm Chord says, any plans to bring Orange into the Synergy platform?
I don't know if the orange conversation has happened,
Hmm.
so it's a great idea. If it hasn't happened yet, it will be mentioned.
And
Okay.
then Gabriel wants to know, Gabriel, about Mesa. What about Mesa with the modular preamps?
That conversation has happened.
Sweet.
Ooh.
I'll say sit on your hands.
Ah, you know
Nice.
what? I was going to ask this. It's in my notes.
Yeah.
So, while we're on that topic, I'm going to take this detour for a second. Randall Smith came and did a presentation. I think was it last summer over at Motor City Guitar right here in Waterford, and
Sure.
I talked to him and I said, "Hey, why aren't you doing a thing with Synergy, because they have all these modules with other companies and they're making them, and why don't you guys?" I said, "I bet if you guys made a Mark or a dual rec preamp, I think it
Yeah.
would sell like hotcakes." And he's like, "Well." He's like, I mean, right now we're just concentrating on what we're doing. And he said, I
Sure.
think they're kind of our competition, aren't they? And I'm like, well, I said, well, I'm not going to get into the politics of it all, but I said, what I can tell you is they have a ton of brands underneath their umbrella that are selling modules like crazy through them. So I wouldn't really say that they're competition. I would rather say that they're kind of like an alley oop for you. It's like, here you go, man.
Yeah.
Slam dunk it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'll take credit for the fact that you guys are talking. I think that if it wasn't for me, none of this would happen. So yeah.
Checks in the mail, bro.
Hey, thank
Right,
you.
right.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Speaking
So,
of mail, Ed Hinchy,
ooh,
Ed Hinchy is like, he ordered the Sin 50 3 months ago and it continues to get pushed back.
I'm curious. I thought you were gonna say Ed Hinchy's a male.
Oh. He is, by
The
the way. Uh,
True. So, this is an instance where I would say have him uh, direct message Jared to get my email address and
okay.
send me a message
Yeah.
There you go.
directly.
Yep.
I'll figure out where the hang up is, because if it's on the dealer end, then we have to figure that out. If it's on our end, then I gotcha, because that's a whole lot easier.
Super cool.
Okay, so Ed, you know how to get a hold of me, so just message me. I'll send you John's email, and you guys can take care of that. So that's what this is about.
There
We're
you go.
bringing people together here and solving problems
Right.
and answering questions. So
Getting things
There you
done.
go.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I'm really excited about all the new stuff that's coming out, because I mean, I got to tell you, I'm not wearing a hat, but let's pretend. I will tip my hat to you guys. The Bogner Uberschall is freaking stupid, amazing, awesome. I love that thing. It's scary good. I saw a post from a guy today that actually has an Uberschall amp, like the full amp, and he says that you guys did a better job on the module than the amp. He said the module is even more aggressive than the amplifier itself. So I'm like, all right, because this thing is. I sleep with one eye open when this thing's not docked, because I don't know what this thing's doing all night around here. It's pretty aggressive.
Well, thanks, Reinhold.
Yeah, that thing
That's
is amazing.
that's awesome. So out of curiosity, what's your go-to synergy rig that you use?
Good question. It's like, which kid do I take with me to Disney, right? I I think, and maybe it's the honeymoon phase, but I don't really think it is. This Bogner Ubershaw is just incredible, and
Cool.
if you don't mind me saying so, and this is something I really like about what you guys did too, is because it works with, like, I'm sure you heard of Jaded Faith and Antonin's stuff over at oh my god,
Sorry, I can't help you with
slips my
that.
mind here. Salvation, and they make a Camerock that's amazing. So between the Camerock and the Bogner is awesome, and I do like the what's the one I got upstairs? Of course, the Soldano and the Diesel are amazing too. So I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah.
but I love that Bogner. That's definitely my favorite one that you guys make.
Cool. I'll have to admit I haven't spent that much time with the Ubershell yet.
Oh, you
Played it. I've had probably 5 minutes with it.
Is it
really?
So
Ubershell and
sound
not Ubershell?
Uber shell.
Oh.
Ubershell, yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm gonna have to dig in a bit further myself.
You do, man. That thing is
Yeah.
scary good. It's amazing.
Do you have any word when you'll be seeing the Deliverance module for sale?
I think that okay. So this is the type of question that got shaken up by COVID-19.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We had initial launch plans and on everything, like everything that was shown at NAM was like nice and packaged, and there was spreadsheets and all the stuff that you're supposed to have to make it work. And then this whole thing blew up, and all of a sudden we have to kind of re-find our footing.
Yeah.
We've all just been back in the office as
Yeah.
of Monday.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So what I would say with the Deliverance is late summer, and I
Okay.
know that that's not a very firm date. It's a
We
time frame, but it's not a
right.
firm date. I would say late summer.
So Augustish.
We have like final samples packaged up and ready for like reviewers.
Okay.
Um so once the reviewers have an opportunity to like go through it and provide final feedback to the builders, I think we're good.
Okay.
Everybody involved in like the building process of it all gave it the thumbs up. Everybody at NAM that got a chance to hear
Yeah.
it is going crazy. I think it might be my favorite module.
The Deliverance.
Yeah, I
Really?
think that one might be my favorite. I'm
Nice.
Okay.
I'm absolutely dying to get that one.
And
It
so is
sounds
Aaron Short,
so
apparently.
good. All right, yeah, Aaron, late summer, man.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, where are we? We are in. Just keep track of the questions
Sure.
here. Okay. So, process from start to finish. Obviously, like the short version of it. Of like how after you sign a brand, like making the modules. How long does it take? Steps, etc. How does that all work?
Um, well, okay, so the engineers that we have in house, which would be like Peter, basically controls the synergy stuff. Um, Kind of gives them the groundwork or the system that we use, um, and then they get the I don't know, like the it's not called CAD. What is the engineering version of CAD called? So that's a great engineer question.
Yeah, I'm not
Basically,
sure.
whatever it is that they need, I'll say the resources.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, the builder gets the resources. They take their first crack at it. They send it back over with an actual amp, and then we kind of like do the comparisons really loud, take notes, figure out what needs to happen, send it back and forth a couple times until all the revisions are met, and then it's like, okay, giddy up.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, and there's a pretty sizable brain trust at Boutique that gets ears on all this stuff. So like Peter Ahrens, Dave Friedman, multiple guitar players that are in house, including myself. If any of the other builders like Joe Morgan are in town, he takes part in it. So
Sweet.
yeah, it's
So you got a
all
bunch of experts kind of in there, kind of doing their thing. That's what's so cool. And I gotta say, like the synergy stuff is the most exciting, kind of piece of gear I've bought in all the years that I've been buying gear because
sure.
it's just so it's affordable. I mean, you get a new once you buy the original
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, $3.99 you get a new module. It makes great
Right.
gifts and for your,
You definitely had more wind in your sails after
Yeah.
you got that for sure.
Yeah. It's a great brand. I love all the stuff that you're doing, and I love the variety. So, like, usually when people go to digital platforms, they love all the variety that they get with them because it's like,
Right.
digital platforms, you can have almost anything under the sun, but it's a digital platform. But with the Synergy, it's the best of both worlds because it's real tubes, it's
Yeah.
real stuff, real circuits, real sounds, real feel, but you also get tons of variety. So it's just amazing. I got two Syn 2s here. I got
Mhm.
four modules in here, and it's just tons of variety and lots of fun. Just depends on what I'm feeling that day that I want to play.
You've got 8 channels
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, for folks that don't know, all of the Synergy modules are 2 channels,
Yep.
MIDI controllable. So,
Yep.
what are you using for a MIDI switch? Out of curiosity.
Oh, I use a Helix. So
Oh,
I
great.
yep, I program it with the Helix. I actually did a episode how I paired the two and programmed everything step by step, and it works really well with it, and that's one thing that I really like when I get a product, and it's like there's no limits. Like
Right.
I can get this into, and it's got all the ins and outs. It's got all the stuff that you need. It's got MIDI, which is a huge thing for me because when you're playing live, I mean, you have to switch channels,
Sure.
and you go from dirty to clean, and you need the effects that are associated with each channel, and you don't want to be up there river dancing while you do it. So I could just tap clean on my Helix, and all the effects come on for it, and it switches this to the clean channel, and vice versa. So it's like it's so handy, and I really like the fact that you guys left no stone unturned with that. It's a perfect product. It really is. I love it.
Cool. I wish I could take credit for it.
Well,
There's
you
a
can.
couple of questions in here. Let's see. Is there ever going to be a Synergy 2.0 with additional control features? That's from Aaron Short again.
Yeah, probably. We've talked about this a little bit in the past. There will eventually be a second, or well, I shouldn't say second generation
Mm-hmm.
because Ignitor's IE4 would be technically the first generation.
Mhm.
But at this point in time, whatever the next generation will be, whenever that next generation will be, you'll probably see some enhancements like a built-in IR loader
Ah,
Hmm.
that's cool.
in place of the direct output, or in addition to the direct output. I'm not really sure, but you'll probably see that. I don't know. Like this is one of those things Jared mentioned a moment ago. There's no stone kind of left unturned, and so the only thing is like, okay, well, what has technology brought us in more recent years that this thing doesn't offer? The IR loader is one of those obvious things, so that would be an obvious thing we could throw at it. But
Maybe effects.
like built-in effects on
Yeah.
it, yeah, possibly. Like the what is it, the Boss M3 loop switcher has the built-in effects on it now, which it didn't when it was just the ES years
Yeah.
ago. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Because
I
that's
haven't. Yeah.
yeah, it'd be good to integrate some of that stuff. But I like the IR loader thing. That's actually a great thing. A lot of companies are incorporating the two notes with their stuff too now, which is
Right.
actually really
Yeah,
cool.
sure.
So yeah, all
I
that
would.
stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say about that though is that it hasn't been developed yet, so you're you're at least 2 full years away from that, if not more.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
final, from especially on a technical level, from final development to bring it to market, it's going to take a while.
Hmm.
So
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I totally get that. So
Any
in other words, don't
plans?
wait to buy something. Buy it now, anyways.
Are there any plans for a pit bull or a rev module?
oh yeah, along with the Deliverance, the Pitbull module will be coming out, the Pitbull Ultra Lead.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's already been developed. It was already shown at the show. It's the only module that comes with a graphic EQ on it, which is awesome. It's
Yeah,
just like the Pitbull Ultra Lead.
that's awesome. What about EVH? Have you guys talked to them?
No, I don't think so.
No, because that
No,
would be
and I
something.
don't, I don't,
Or
I don't
PV.
know. I mean, there's many people at this company. I don't know who's having, backroom conversations with guys like Rev or whatnot. I haven't talked to them yet.
Gotcha.
Um, but there's a possibility at the show somebody had that conversation. I'm just not privy to it.
What about PV? Same thing or
Um, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what the demand would be for a PV module.
okay?
Maybe 5150, but
Yeah,
that's already covered in the SLO. I mean, 5150 was kind of sort of an SLO
got you. Okay.
derivative. Not really, not as much as maybe a dual rectifier, but you know,
What a 6505. I know that's kind of the same thing, and it's all debated and stuff like that. But I just thought that would be kind of cool. I think, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know your market as well as you do, obviously. But I mean, I think it would sell just like with the Mesa stuff. Like it's like,
right.
why
Well,
not?
I think when it comes to something like PV, and this is just me speaking as a guitar player rather than a representative of this company.
Uh huh.
I think the problem that you have is you come out with a module at 399 for a 6505, because you can't use 5150 anymore. That's owned by Fender, so you
Yeah.
have to you'd have to do an EVH module that would be your 5150. But
Yeah.
hypothetically, if it was a 6505, what you're doing is you're bringing out a module at 399 for an amp that you can buy used on Craigslist all day long for $500 for like
Yeah.
the full size thing. So it's going to be, it's in my opinion, is it would be a harder sell, I think. I could be completely full of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, because
We could develop it and sell 1,000 of them in the first week, and I'd be
yeah.
like, well, shows what I know.
See, and I guess the way I'm thinking is just from a product owner. It's like I would buy that module because I already have.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper for me to buy the module, but I'm not all about cheap. I'm just about, hey, it's another thing to add to my collection. So
Sure,
for
and
me, I'd buy it.
right, and sure, and this is where, like I said, I could be full of it because I just, yeah,
Yeah.
that would you'd prove me wrong all day.
You never know. I mean, it's one of those things where you never know. I definitely don't want to be presumptuous, but I can tell you, I pre-order it right now, so it's official pre-order for me. If you guys make it.
There you go. So do a 6505 plus sort of a circuit.
Yeah, I think it'd be
Um,
cool. You know.
maybe maybe it's worth the conversation.
Yeah. Now, speaking of sales, what are your best-selling modules right now?
Without looking directly at the sheet, I would say SLO is number one. I'm
Okay.
guessing. Okay, I have to temper this list a little bit because to be totally honest, I haven't looked at it since the COVID
Hmm.
19 thing happened, and I also that kind of corresponds to the Vibe module launch. That could have really
Yeah.
propelled itself up in the list. We've been selling a lot of Vibe modules, a lot of Ecstasy modules, a lot of SLO modules.
Yeah.
Those my gut feeling is those are probably the top three.
Okay. All
we
right.
do we do really well with a number of even the more heritage designs like the Twin Deluxe or the Plexi. We do
Yeah.
really well with those as well.
Yeah.
But and then oh yeah, and then the OS, the Dumble clone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
that
lot
one's
of guys
another
that
one
like
that's up
that.
high on the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new ones are just going crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. I reviewed them. It was, I don't know, over a month or so ago when they came out. I had them all here,
Yeah.
and I brought it back to Motor City Guitar. But I walked back out with the Ubershaw. I was like, well, I'm gonna take this one home with me. How much you want for it? And I bought it right
Yeah.
there, and I just had to have it, and I've enjoyed playing it ever since. I mean, it's definitely my kind
It's
of
amazing, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's got all the stuff in it that I like.
All the
I
things.
Yeah.
I think I think the reason that something like I didn't mention Ubershaw in the top three because it's just not. I think when you look at stuff like the Ubershaw and the VH4 and the like the Angle Savage and stuff like that, it's because the majority of the guitar players that are out there are looking for that more rounded sort of a thing, and we're talking about like high gain like monsters.
Yeah.
And it's probably that there's just a larger audience for a more rounded sort of product versus something that's really extreme. Extreme stuff tends to, have its audience on the fringe.
I see.
So
So I'm a
Niche.
fringy guy, I guess.
yeah,
Yes.
'Cause I
It's
like
fringy.
exactly.
you're too extreme.
I'm too
No,
extreme. Well, the thing is, though, with me, I've even talked to people about certain modules or certain amplifiers, for that matter, and they're like, "Oh, it's got too much gain." I'm like, "Well, it's got that gain knob on it, and
right,
you can turn it
right,
down."
exactly.
So, for me, I'd rather ride the lightning. I want it all. Give
Yeah,
me the gain.
absolutely,
I want it now.
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely. The irony behind that is the SLO has gobs and gobs of gain, and that seems to be like, I think it's just because it's classic in its name and its heritage, and
Yeah.
like I've always wanted a Soldano. It's like okay,
Yep, there you go.
so
Now speaking of that,
sure,
so we can move into the next question that we have for you, and this one's going to be interesting because there's a lot of talk and a lot of conjecture about the new Soldano
sure,
100, the slow 100, and the 30-watt lunchbox, and there was a lot of buzz about it at at NAM. and I don't know if you're in the forums, or you probably are, but on some of the Facebook groups and stuff.
Some of them.
Okay, and like, so you see people talk about it, and there's like, it's every I've seen the comments go from everywhere, from like, oh my god, it's finally, it's, they're making it again, and I've already pre-ordered it and I want one and I can't wait till I get it, all the way from that, all the way to how much do they want for it. They're like, oh
Right.
god, I just, man, that's so high, and it's what is it, 20, is it 2,500 for the 30 watt and
Yeah.
4 grand for the 100 watt? Is that okay? Yeah, and there's, and there's people saying like, well, you know I mean, again, it's both spectrums. You got
Sure.
the ravenous fans that just, they don't care. They'll rob a bank and come get one. They don't give a crap. And like, then you got the other people. I've even seen people. This is kind of funny. They're like, oh great, another amp for doctors and lawyers. It's like,
Right. Sure.
and there's like, it's everything in between as well. And so like, and I did what I always do. I always, like, before I buy something, because I'm like, well, shoot, I mean, if it's coming out, I'll take a look at it and stuff. And so you do your research, you look it up, and you see the features that it has, and what it basically entails, and then you compare it to other amps on the market, that are 100 watt amps that you're interested in as well, and you kind of line them up next to each other, and you're like, okay, well, like the VX Super Kraken, it's all MIDI. It's every switch on that thing is MIDI
Sure.
controlled. It's got two amazing channels on it. It's actually two and a half, because the first channel can either be clean or dirty, and that's all switchable via MIDI. So you can actually have three channels if you do it that way. And the channel two is insane. So it's got a lot of features on it and stuff, and it's like $1,900, and it's still 100 watts. You got John Petrucci's amp, which is the Mesa JP2 Mark II C Plus. Um, and it's got 8 billion features on it, all MIDI controlled, two EQs, three channels, all the switching. It's got shred mode. It's got all this crazy stuff on it, and it's like,
Sure.
okay. And then you look at the Soldano, and again, I'm not. Please don't take this as me being cruel or combative. It's just, these are
Sure.
just, you just line it up, right? So
Sure.
the Soldano 100 watt is two channels, shared EQ, 4 grand, and then there's no. I don't think it has MIDI, right? There's no MIDI on it.
No. No.
Okay, so it's pretty. It's and I don't mean simple as a slight to the amp, but it's a
No.
pretty
Sure.
direct approach, right? So there's not a lot of bells and whistles. So I'm just, what I want to do here uh, is give you a chance to kind of help the public understand why it's priced the way it is, and maybe give us some perspective, so that we can go,
Sure.
well, maybe we should drop our torches and reach for our wallets now and just go get one. You know what I mean? So we can
Oh.
figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. So there's always going to be people that are willing to try and burn it down.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of the pricing, Mike Soldano's last year of producing the SLO 100 up in Seattle by himself, his street price was $49.99.
Okay.
So we brought it down like 20% from what that was.
Okay.
Um, but really, for the few guys that are out there trying to burn it down, we are I mean, we're sold out of our production for the entire year on this amp already. I
Okay.
mean, we're still building to get them out of the door. There's people out there who don't even bat an eye at the fact that it's priced the way it is. And if you are concerned about the price the way it is, it effectively comes down to a few factors. Cost of parts is a huge factor that goes into it, because everything from there extrapolates.
Mm.
Um, the transformers that go into this amplifier alone are probably twice the cost of what's going into like the JP2C, for example. And I don't know
Okay.
exactly what they're paying for their transformers, but I know that it's twice the cost of every other transformer that we have in any of our amps.
So it's the
And
only
we've
one
got
in your
really
shop
high-end amps.
that has it.
It, yeah, yeah. So when it
Okay.
comes to cost of parts, is really expensive.
Okay.
It's built incredibly meticulously. from start to finish as most of our products are. And it doesn't stand alone with a high price tag. If you look at like a Friedman BE 100 Deluxe, it's $38.99 right now.
Yeah.
So it's $100 difference basically between
Yeah.
the two of them. And it's just kind of like, because of inflation and everything else that's gone on over the handful of years, this is kind of like what, $2,500 amps were 10 years ago. It's just they've gotten more costly to produce and put together, and
No, but
that's
in my
a
head,
part of
10 years
it.
ago was
It's
1990.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
right,
Time
exactly.
flies. Yeah.
so
Yeah. It's
But
crazy.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it really is kind of just like, it's like a Ford versus Ferrari sort of a thing. They're both going
Gotcha.
to drive you down the street. It's
Yeah.
just which way you want to go with it.
Yeah.
Um, there's an incredible amount of care that goes into the build of each one of these Soldanos. They're incredible.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
if you saw the conversations a few weeks before launch, there were a lot of people out there saying, "What's it gonna be like?" And then you get some guy that's had one for 20 years, and he's gonna say, "Everything Boutique Amps makes sucks. The only thing that could possibly be good is the one that came from Seattle because Mike drank a certain type of tap water,
Yeah.
whatever."
Yeah.
Um,
I hear you.
and then if you look at the conversations over the last couple of days, where people now have the amps in their possession, there's guys that are out there saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, this is incredible." So
So you guys had to go for the a different transformer because I hear the other ones weren't available or weren't made anymore. So you
yeah,
guys,
DeYoung stopped producing.
yeah. So
So we took a bunch of sets that were still in existence and sent them to high-end American transformer manufacturers and said, "Do your best, reproduce this completely and as wholly as you possibly can." And the ones that came back that sounded identical to the DeYoungs and that were the same size and laminations and materials and everything that went into them, that's what we're doing.
oh, okay,
So it's still a high-end American transformer, and it's been completely reverse engineered and built from the ground up to be, a direct replacement.
okay, gotcha. Okay, so that gives people some perspective because one thing I can say, like I have two Sin 2s, I have the Sin 5050, I have a lot of your Synergy modules, and I've had
Sure.
zero problems with any of it, and all of it's been working very well for me, and it's built well, it functions well, it sounds great. So as far as anybody saying that, oh, Boutique Amps doesn't build anything well or whatever, they're full of crap
for
because
sure.
I can tell you right now, the stuff that I have by you guys is top notch. It's fantastic stuff,
Yeah.
and it's priced well.
Always going to be haters.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you can get caught up in some of the conjecture out there, and I have my own thoughts about pricing and stuff like that too. But I have never played a Soldano like a full blown Soldano slow. So
Mhm.
for me, it's like I would be the guy on the sidelines going, "Well, I could throw better than the quarterback." It's like, well, put on
Sure.
a jersey, let's see. And I don't want to be that guy, so I want to make up my mind when I actually do a review of it and
Yeah.
play it for myself. But I mean, I'm just saying, standing on the sidelines, it's pricey. It's pricey, and then you read the stuff. So I want to make my own decision when I play one.
Sure.
Because feature for feature, there are amps out there that cost less that have more features.
Sure.
But
I mean, yeah, look at the synergy stuff. There you go.
yeah,
It's it does everything, and it's,
yep.
yeah, nowhere near that price tag, but
Yeah,
it's, yeah, no, it's a Ferrari.
yeah, and that's the thing I was going to say too. Speaking of that, like if for people who can't, or maybe the whoever doesn't really want to spend that kind of money on a Soldano slow, like the major the big amp, get the Synergy system and get the Soldano module. I mean,
Hmm.
it's same specs, right? I mean, it's the same kind of thing, and then you can get it at a discount and get it built by the same people, and it does sound really good. It's a good module, so I don't see anything wrong with taking that kind of direction as well.
Sure.
Jason
Appreciate
Mitchell
that.
had a question. He says,
Hey,
"Can the
Jason.
Sin 50 or Sin 2 be used with both modules in either as stereo with the Sin 5050 since it's already a stereo power amp? I run stereo with an AB and was curious if this could be done."
So wait, say that again. Is he asking
Sure.
if you can blend the modules? Is that what
I
he's
think
asking?
so.
Can the SIN 50 or SIN 2 be used with both modules in either a stereo? Sorry, there's probably some extra words in there. With the SIN 5050 since it's already a stereo power amp.
Oh, yeah. I think that's more or less what he's asking is
Yeah.
if you can run them
Blend
both
them.
at the same time. There is that will be a 2.0 feature when that comes out.
Okay.
Ah,
That's something
guess
that's
what
been
I'm
discussed
buying.
as well. Yeah, so again, we're years away from it, but there has been that discussion along with the IR loader where they're talking about blending.
Great
And
question.
sorry I didn't mention that earlier. I just
Oh, it's fine.
he reminded me of it.
That's
This
why
was
Jason's here, to
this
keep
was a
us on track.
5-month-old conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Jay wants to know, do the Synergy amp heads have a built-in load box or do you still need to use a cab with them?
They do not have a built-in load box.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Let's see, Manny Meja, that's the last one right now. Manny Meja or Meja, how do you replace the tubes in the modules?
Pull them out, push new ones in.
Boop.
yeah, it's simple.
I'm
Well,
I'm
there's a
sounding like a total jerk, but it really is that easy.
it
It's
is. So you have the casing here. You just pop it off, and the tubes are right here. Just pop them out, put new ones in, put the lid back on. Done.
yeah, and it's built sturdy. It's gonna be
Yeah.
real easy to do.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yep. Very easy to do.
Well, we have another question, and then after that, we'll open it up for free
Yes.
for all question and answers for a few minutes. We'll try to wrap this up. It's going on 9 o'clock. We're 2 minutes away from 9 o'clock.
It's fine.
So
It's fine.
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
well, let me do this. So to just kind of button up the previous topic with the pricing of the Soldano, I think the market will decide, right? So like if they sell like hotcakes, well then I guess it's priced right. If they don't, then it's not, right? It's at
Sure.
the end of the
Fair
day.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's going to be people that probably think it's great, but it's not worth it to them, and then there's going to be people that are like, I don't care. I'll take two,
Sure.
whatever. It just depends. So if the market doesn't
Oh
bear
yeah.
good sales, then you know what the deal
It
is.
just yeah, totally. It's just there's I mean you think about like a Dumble, like I couldn't possibly shell out $80,000 for a real Dumble.
Yeah,
It's just never gonna happen.
yeah,
Um the same thing with like a company like Wizard, like where you get a Plexi copy that's $5,000. It's just
crazy.
it's it's for some people, and the person that really wants that Wizard's gonna be really happy when they get it because they're built insanely good. They're really really nice stuff. But some people don't want a Wizard. They would rather just have a DSL 100, and they're good with that. That's their Marshall sound rather than
Gotcha.
oh it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like we said earlier. There's an ass for every seat.
Nice. Exactly. So the market will tell us everything, and it is what it is at that point. So, okay. So a couple of other questions. We kind of covered a little bit of this,
Yes.
but I'll ask it anyways. What modules will we be able to see in the future? In my question, Mesa 5150. So if are there any other brands that you're working with?
It would all be kept under wraps until there was a solid product to bring out. So anything can be conjecture for now. The
Okay.
ones that you can expect to see coming out shortly will be the Fryat modules, which everybody already knows about.
Okay.
But for I'm sure that there's probably contracts and stuff that's above my pay grade that would say like until it's ready to be fleshed out. There's no discussion, so I don't know. I can't. It's above
Gotcha.
my pay grade is the best answer.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. We were hoping we could get a slip of the tongue, but oops.
Have some more whiskey.
Yeah, drink
Yeah,
some more. Come on, let's do shots.
All right. There we go.
Woohoo!
My last sip.
Get some truth serum in you, man. Come on.
Well, the unfortunate thing is some of that stuff, like I was saying earlier, like the backroom conversations that turn into this, like I won't know about it until
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, hey Peter, what are you working on? It's, oh, I got this module from so and so, and it's just like, what? Where did that come from? I had,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not, that's
Never
how I
saw it
stumbled
coming.
upon the Deliverance and the Ultra Lead. I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't, at that point in time, it wasn't black. It was like a raw metal casing. And I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is this? He's like, oh, this is the one Steve Fryatt just brought over. I'm like, we're doing a fryette? He's like, yeah, it's coming out at NAM. You didn't know? I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Guess nobody
So
likes
about
me.
end of summer then for the Fryette again?
That's what we're guessing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like August 1st or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Sure.
Maybe August
Tuesday, I
30th,
don't know.
September 1st. I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
so where do you see Synergy 2 years from now?
It's growing now. I think that it's going to continue to grow because um, part of part of what's happening in the growth is that there's a lot of touring acts that are taking it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of artists that are constantly hitting us up, and so if there is any relevance to the fact that artists have some level of influence among younger players and whatnot, inherently that should continue the growth of the brand.
I know Opeth uses
It's
it.
yeah, Opeth, Jeff Loomis has them. Of course, I'm going to draw a blank at those two people, right? I'm
Jim
really sure
Majura. Yeah.
Steve Vai,
Yeah.
obviously.
Same thing happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
singer,
But
and you ask me to sing a song, I can't produce one lyric.
right,
On
exactly.
the spot.
So considering that that's a big thing that's just been constant, um, that inherently should have some positive impact on the brand. Also, the fact that, as you mentioned earlier, it's so easy to integrate with something like a Helix or
Mhm.
It is.
fractal floorboards
Yep.
or whatever it is that you're using,
Yep.
and you can have a real tube component that sounds
Can't go
incredible,
wrong. Yeah.
um, and is still lightweight. Say, for example, you're touring with a direct feed to the board through whatever it is that you're using, like Helix. It's the easiest example because it's been brought up so many times. You can have that analog front end,
Yep.
and it's not heavy and it's not cumbersome. It's just there as a part of your touring rack.
Yep.
You know,
I've
so
done that. I've actually, a lot of our shows that we've done, I always have this on the floor behind me and my Helix in front of me, and I go direct with an IR, and
sure,
I'm done. I don't, because we use in ears, so we don't need all the cabs and all that stuff. And so it's a great hybrid rig because you got the best of both worlds. You have a great switching system with awesome effects, very
sure,
easy to use, and then you got the Synergy modules that all sound great. And there's still real tubes and circuits and all that kind of stuff, and the great reactive feel that you get from it. And every show that we've done with it, I always ask sound guys afterwards, like, hey, how did my rig sound? Did you like it? And they're always curious about it because they see it. They're like, what the heck's that? And they're reading the names. They're like, I didn't know. I didn't know Engel made a little one of those. We get done and they're like, man, that thing sounded killer. Like it sounded
yeah.
awesome. So they always say it sounds great. So I always am confident when I use it live.
Such a good feeling.
Yeah.
It is.
We
It
got a
really
super
is.
chat from Aaron Short. Thank you so much. His
Thank you.
question is what amp is the built-in clean based on?
Ah, good question.
He must be talking about the Sin 30,
Yeah, I think that's what
which
he
has
has.
the built-in clean. Um, if I Okay, so that was designed before I was there, so that means I have to just know. I've had this conversation before, and I am 85% certain that the clean tone was Dave Friedman's design.
Okay.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell you if it was based on a Fender or a Buxom Betty. I don't
Okay.
know, but I'm 85 and declining, maybe 83% certain now that Dave Friedman did that design. I think he did the voicing of that.
Okay.
Manny says he believes it was a Fender, some sort of a Fender.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's possible. It doesn't sound, to my ears, it doesn't sound like it has the bloom of like a blackface. And it's definitely got some character when you put some volume on it, like a little, not like a lot of breakup, but like edge of breakup character that's really nice.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I really don't know. That's something that I need
Yeah.
to explore.
I think you
Okay.
told me earlier, but I can't remember what you said. Jay wants to know what your favorite module is.
The Deliverance.
The Deliverance, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, to date, for the modules that are already out, probably the SLO
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
is my favorite.
Okay.
But that Deliverance is, man, It's really chewy. I'm,
Yeah.
and you know, it won't be everybody's favorite module.
Yeah.
It's important to preface that by, you know, you look at my amps. I've got behind me. I've got a Dirty Shirley from Friedman and
Yep.
an older Marshall,
Hmm.
and the like that '70s rock sort of a sound is more my sound.
That's your sound.
Gotcha.
Like I don't do like a real super high gain. My sort of preference is like a mid gain, and then I'll hit it with a boost when I want to go into like the heavier sound.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
so like I said, you know, that's my
Jay wants to know any chance of some of the signature Friedman models? Signature Friedman?
that might be complicated because it would have to go through whoever that signature artist's management company is.
Ah,
Because when you're dealing with signature artists like that, there's that artist side of it as well.
Oh,
So
I see.
um I I don't know.
I'm trying so hard not to sneeze right now. It is sitting right in my nose. And it's going to be loud if it
Yeah,
happens.
I got the mute button ready.
It's gone for now, but it'll be back.
Just let me know, because man, those things are earth shattering.
Super loud.
Yeah.
Gabriel Sanchez. Randall had a similar modular design. How closely are the Synergy amps and the Randall amps related?
They okay, so Bruce Ignator was the one who designed the IE4, which was the first preamp dock module sort of system. And when his I don't know if it was whenever it made sense to him. I don't know because we're talking years ago at this point in time.
Right.
However, and whenever that made sense to him, Bruce is the one that licensed that concept to Randall. So there is an absolute similarity because they're of the same effective bloodline. Um, Randall, if I remember correctly, I don't think that they could use two channel modules. I think those modules were all one channel.
Oh, okay.
But it was of the same lineage. Now it's just more advanced and more developed. Their licensing on that ran out years ago.
Got you. That's one thing I would like to see too. Is like on some of the modules, there's like a shared EQ, and then
Mhm.
on other ones, there's what is it? I'm trying to look here. Like on well, obviously on the TDLX, they got their own, their own EQ on each channel. Same thing with the
Yep.
Bogner, and like the SLO has a shared EQ. Is
Right.
it possible to like, I don't know, like if you guys did like a reissue or something, or like a standard thing where it's like each module has its own EQ per channel. And the reason why I asked this, well, there's probably 1,000 reasons people have, but one of the
Sure.
biggest reasons I have is, for instance, I got the Ingle Savage, and the shared EQ on it, I can make channel one sound amazing, but it's kind of a darker channel, so because I got to
Mhm.
boost the highs quite a bit on there to get it to pop out in the mix. When I switch to channel two, it's so thin that it's like, well, I can't.
Yeah.
It's like you can only use one channel. So I wish on
Right.
that one that they would have put a different EQ on each one. Then I'd have two totally customizable and usable channels. But now I got to
Sure.
pick just one.
Sure.
So
Yeah. I mean, you see from the fact that there are two channel complete uh discrete channels, so you know the possibilities there.
sure,
It's just
sure.
it's just going to be a case of whether or not the builder says I need to make this correction. I feel like this is, and if there's enough feedback from guys like you that say I really wish this would have happened, then and it bears compulsion in the marketplace that makes sense for them to do it, then they'll do it.
Yeah, I
If
think
it's
it'd
like a
be great.
redesign that's going to cost thousands and thousands of development and manufacturing dollars to sell like five of them, then they're
Yeah.
not going to do it.
No, I
Obviously.
hear
So
you.
so it really comes down to like market demand sort
Yeah,
of stuff.
I get it. It would be nice though if they kind of made it a standard thing, to like,
Yeah.
each channel gets its own EQ, which really comes in handy because, like, for instance, like what's nice on the Bogner is I can make the channel one super tight and percussive for rhythms and aggressive, but then when I go into leads on channel two, I can pull a little bit of the highs out and nudge the mids a hair and get that nice smooth lead tone. And that's why I love that module so much, because there's really nothing it can't do except suck. I mean, it's the only thing it won't do is suck.
They leave that up to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. You bring the suck.
Boy, have I brought the suck. I have done it many times.
Gabriel Sanchez wants to know, do the Randalls and the Sin modules interchange?
You can use the Sin modules and the Randall heads, but like I said, the Randall heads will only see one of the channels.
Oh, okay.
And forgive me for not knowing, but I don't know if it's channel 1 or channel 2 on the device. So it only partially works. The old modules that are single channel modules from the Randall will move forward to the Synergy devices.
Yeah, and that's nice because like you can get anything you want, which I thought was really cool. And I hate to use the word backwards, but it's kind of backwards compatible, right? So like you can use the Sin. So if you get a Sin 2, you can use everybody's stuff, and it'll recognize whatever it has. Right. And I love that because I love companies that make products for the people as opposed to making products that has their own ego involved. In other words, like, well, we don't want you using Salvation stuff or Randall stuff. We just want you using our own. And it's kind of like, well, okay, I could get that to a certain degree, but at the same time, I'm somebody who's buying your product and I want to have that variety, you know, and I really like the fact that you thought of us. You did, John. You were there when it was all conceptualized, and you were like, what about the people?
I bring down from the heavens
these commandments.
Concept to flesh. Yeah. Yeah, right.
5 commandments.
I'm so curious right now. The year of launch for the Igniter IE4.
Looks like you're Googling.
I want to see how old I was when that came out.
Yeah, interesting.
Because it's really funny to me to think like, you know, I know it's a joke, but it's just funny to me to think like what that actually was. And I don't know. I think it was early 90s, so I would have been in grade school.
Nice.
I'm closing in on the big 4-0 here, but
we beat
you to it. I would have been a kid when that first came out.
Yeah, I turned 40 last week.
I think even before that, didn't Seymour Duncan have something called a convertible?
That I don't know. I've never even heard of that.
I'm gonna Google it.
I must have been grade school then too.
I don't think that it was the same exact concept, but I think it did share some level of similarity.
Interesting.
While you're Googling, we got another question from Jay at Warm Chord Music. With the Steve Vai module being green, what is the thought of having future modules being colored or special edition modules with different colors?
I personally would love it.
I think
I don't see why not. I think that like black is like the general easiest to do color. It's the one, you know, everybody's comfortable with black, but I would personally love it. I don't see why not.
We need a purple one somewhere.
Yeah, purple's awesome. As you can see, we have purple. Oh, one of the lights came undone. No wonder.
No, that's why it got dark.
Yep, I was wondering. Yeah, it came unplugged somehow.
That's right.
That's all right.
Wayne, we just have a couple questions left from the viewers. Wayne, being in a cover band, you need several different tones. How many modules can you put in a rack and switch between them for different songs?
Through MIDI, you can go nuts. I think you can have like 99 modules. Or something like
you
that.
Can go crazy.
You can go absolutely bananas.
Yeah. Especially with the Helix, because it's got all the commands that you could possibly think of.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. So it's just all about daisy chaining, Sin 2 after Sin 2 after Sin 2.
Nice. All right, and then Aaron Short again wants to see a Tone Wars module, and if we did have a signature module, what color would it be, and what features would it have? It's a serious question.
It's a serious question. So,
it'd be a toss-up between purple and red, right?
I think it would be Purple Flames.
Done.
Make it happen, John. Make it happen. I'll send you a case of whatever scotch you want, buddy.
It could be purple and red.
Purple and red.
Yeah.
With but what would your what would your combination of modules be?
It would be
Oh.
called
Tone
the
profile would
it would
be.
be called the Tone Wars Sleeveless from Jason Taylor.
Yeah, the sleeveless. So I would have, I think it would be a cross between the Bogner Uberschall and, gosh, man, whatever Mesa one you're coming up with. Yeah, I like a Mark. If you guys are going to do a Mark, I would be a cross between the Bogner Uberschall and the Mark, and that's what I would do. So maybe like the first channel one would be an amalgamation. Like channel one would probably be like kind of like, no, it would just be both channels would be a mix of it. Yeah, throw it in a blender, and channel two would just be voiced a little differently for leads. So that's what I would do. So you heard it here, and it would be Purple Flames. So
Love it.
it
Purple and red flames.
it'd be called the TW Sleeveless.
I love it.
It's never gonna happen though. So, but one can dream.
The smoke. Oh, Aaron said it should be the Tone Wars Smoker.
The smoker.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, John, for being on with us tonight, spending a little over an hour answering questions.
Yeah. Seriously, thank you so
Yay.
much, John.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really
I'm good with
appreciate it.
Anybody
very
else
much.
have anything else they want
Yeah,
to harass me about?
we'll keep John here for a few more minutes, so you guys can ask him some questions. So make sure you get them in. I had the Word document of questions covering up our side, so I didn't even notice that the light went out until I looked over there. I'm like, why is it so black? So
Hey,
yeah,
I have a question for you guys.
oh,
Yeah.
In
do
your
it.
intro video, it appears to be two different bass players toward the front end of the video and the back end of the video. Is it a haircut or two different bass players?
Probably the haircut.
It was probably the haircut.
Oh.
Yeah,
And it
was-
just made me realize how great it would be if that music video had like 19 different bass players and you just never address it.
Yeah, they kept exploding during the video
Right.
shooting process. So.
Nice.
And then when that kid's getting beaten up outside, it'd be a bass player that comes out to scare off the mean kid.
Funny.
Yeah, that was a fun.
The many faces of Reno, our bass player.
yeah. He had lots of different looks, and
And now, what has he lost? 70, 75 pounds
yeah,
now?
he's lost 75 pounds, so you
Yeah.
even recognize him now.
Mhm.
Oh,
I mean, it's amazing. Like,
He left all that weight over here on my doorstep, so I picked it up.
Right.
yeah, it's amazing how he just walked his dogs every day, and just ate better, and he lost tons of weight, and now he's hitting the gym, trying to get huge, and yeah, he's
Take
been,
his sleeves off of his shirt.
he's about to go
Nice.
sleeveless. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I it's weird with me. Like, I can't stand sleeves. I always have to cut them
All
off.
winter, even in the winter.
Yeah,
No
I
coats,
hate 'em.
sleeveless.
I mean,
Wow.
It's a tad bit embarrassing. Like, go to the grocery store to grab some snacks. People are like...
And some lady, there was a lady one time, it was kind of funny, I was in a sassy mood, and I walked in the store, and she just stopped, she's like an elderly lady, and she's like, why aren't you wearing a coat? I said, because I don't want to cover all this up. She was like,
Such a dork.
you're an idiot.
That's hilarious.
I was like, you're welcome.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh. Well, I think everybody is... They haven't sent any... They're just making funny comments about our
About
our
me.
own module and about you.
Yeah, everybody likes to make fun of me.
Exactly.
So, well, John, seriously, I mean, I want to say this to everybody. Like, John was very gracious with his time. And when I talked to John, last week about doing this, he was really cool, very personable on the phone, and very willing to do this. And it's weird because, like, when I reach out to people for interviews, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, it's like a box of chocolates, some people are kind of standoffish and don't really want to do it. I don't deal with channels with less than 3 billion subscribers. So, so I really appreciate you coming on here. We had over 30 people here most of the time tonight, and really appreciate all that. Now, guys, stick around because...
Yeah, 40 right now.
Yeah, so stick around, guys, because we're going to hang out with you for a few minutes after we... turn John loose and let him
Get back to life.
Get back to life here. So, but again, John, yeah, But again, John, we really appreciate you coming in here and hanging out with us very much. And
Thank you for the invite.
oh, absolutely. And I will send your email address out to some people so that they can get you get a
All
hold
of
of
them.
you.
We're just gonna publish it.
Yeah, we'll
Do
publish
you guys
it.
want my social too?
Yeah, your address, everything. It's going. So, but again, thank you so much, and everybody hang out with us for a few. We're gonna click off here with John, and then we'll hang out with you guys in the night. So, again,
Great.
John, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate
Have
it
a great
very
one.
much.
Bye.
You too.
See ya. Bye.
All right, bye bye. Okay, now we are on 2 channels. Or 2.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so let me go up to here and go to this. There we go. Now it's just us.
All right.
Well, that was awesome. That was really cool. I was really, really having a good time talking to John. You know, I mean, seriously, what a great guy. I mean, not a lot of companies are gonna send a representative. It's weird. Like for me, I'll call these companies and they'll be like, what's the name of your channel, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that's the cringy moment where you're like, am I good enough? Right. You know, am I, you know, and I you know.
Well, my kids think that our 3,000 subscribers are amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, our 3,000 subscribers are amazing. And we appreciate every one of you. But, you know, you never know, like, what people are going to say. And they were like, oh, all right, well, here's the guy's number. Give him a call. And I reached out to him, and seriously, he was like super cool and very willing to do it. And he also has a channel on YouTube called Whiskey and Wires.
Yep, Whiskey and Wires.
Yeah. So, and he interviews a lot of cool people on his channel. So a lot of big names. I think he had Jeff Loomis on not too long ago, and Leon Todd. He had Leon Todd on. So I mean, he has some pretty cool guests on there. So. Check out his channel as well. But again, I really appreciate this because again, you just never know when you're reaching out to people. I mean, I'm not Ola England, you know. It's like we're small, so you always wonder like, are people going to take us seriously? And they did, and I really appreciate that.
So what are you guys doing?
Yeah. What the heck?
Let's see, say hi to Gabriel. Oh, Scotty Reno, we just got done talking about you, man.
Scotty Reno.
Yeah, he said hello. He's just peeking in. Yeah.
He's half the man he used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, less a person. Yeah.
This shirt's wrinkly. Holy
crap.
crap.
The guy that we were interviewing from Botique Amps just wondered, he saw our music video from Rain. And he was like, do you have 2 different bass players in the beginning and the end of that video? And I was like, it's just the many faces of Reno.
Many faces of Reno. Yep, the different beards and different hairdos and no hairdos. And it's been, a lot of crazy stuff. Yep. But
Gunnerman54 asked when he must have missed this part of the interview. When's the new modules coming out? Did he answer that?
Yes, late summer.
End of summer.
Yeah, end of summer we should be seeing them. So good question. Yep, those will be out end of summer, and they said I think he hinted that they're talking to Mesa, which I think is awesome because if they come out with a mark, I'm getting it. You know, for sure, for sure. We look kind of red on the monitor, don't we?
Yeah, it's a little red.
We're not this red.
We're a little sunburned today.
Lobsters.
Yeah, some color grading to do there.
Yeah, well, we switched the lighting and everything up tonight so we'd be closer, so it wouldn't look so weird. Cause yeah, I've done some. Oh, what? Oh,
sorry.
Yep, there you
Stuff
go.
Back there.
Yeah, you almost bought a whole new rig for me. But we moved the chairs up and switched things around tonight so that we could do this. Because if you're far away, it looks funny, you know. So, anyways, but well, we really appreciate.
You're far away. It looks funny.
I look funny at any distance. So,
Dust Devil says, Jared, which module do you prefer between the Uberschall and the Soldano SLO module? If you could buy only one.
Uberschall. Yep, Uberschall. It's more versatile. EQ for each channel, and a lot more aggression if you want it. And again, so like it's as aggressive as you want it to be. Where the Soldano only goes so far. I like the Soldano. I think it's really good. But the Uberschall just has more. It's just got more of all the stuff that I like. But you can tame it. It's got a boost in it. You can turn the boost off or on. It's got tons of gain, but you don't have to use it all. That's the thing. Like some people, it's funny. It always cracks me up when people go, "Oh, it's too much gain." Well, turn it down. It's like this car's too fast. Well, you pull your foot off the floor. So it's like it's very versatile. I think it sounds amazing, and I use it for leads and rhythm, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Do you know what I'm doing? I'm looking at you on the monitor when you're talking, so that's I'm not.
Oh,
I'm looking at
I'd be looking
talking to you in a mirror.
I'd be looking at me too. Yeah, it's. I'll give you a close up. There you go. Yeah, so I would get the Uberschall. I really do, and it's not just the honeymoon phase that I'm in with it either. It's just incredible. It's like my favorite module.
Gravel Rocks sent a bunch of
hey,
horns.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Always good to see you here.
Scotty Reno, which just confuses me with the Scott there. We need to get together sometime soon. Yeah.
I'm down with getting together. I'm always down with that.
Open some bars and restaurants.
I know. Jeez. Gosh, we got to open some places.
Can we eat outside right now? Do they have like the outdoor seating? Even if they did, that would be like a 4-hour wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do... the thing is like a lot of times when I get food, I like to eat at home.
I know it.
Yeah, I'm a carry-out guy. I like to just go pick it up, and the only time I like to go to places is like
when you're looking good.
I want to strut.
When he struts.
Yeah, it's like that kind of night where you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't want the world to miss out on this.
My hair is good.
Yeah.
Good hair night. Time to go to the restaurant.
Somebody stop me. So
Gabriel Sanchez thanked you for the Helix preset.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Yeah. He asked if I could send it to him. It's my 4-cable method one, and it's almost done. But I figured, I'll send it to him, and then he can tweak it to his taste. But yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
How many modules do you have? Wayne wants to know.
Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's one upstairs. 8. I believe I have 8 or 9. Yeah, 8 or 9 of them. Yeah, and I love them all. They're amazing.
Carry out. What is that? Carry out.
That's what happens when the show's over.
Are you telling me
She
that
leaves.
I got to leave? Gabriel, why I got to go? Let's see. Gravel Rocks, did you try the VH4 module?
Yes, I have it. It's right back there, and I do like it. I do like it a lot, actually. It's a great module. It's funny, like you play that, and you play the slow, and you're like, these are great. They have tons of gain and stuff that I like, and then you get the Bogner and you put that in. You're like, oh my god.
Whew.
Like, it's not just the gain or the amount of gain, it's the aggressiveness that the Bogner has. I mean, that thing is just balls to the wall fury. It's just amazing, and it sounds killer. So, I don't know.
I like that word. Fury.
Fury. Yeah, I used to have a Plymouth Fury, so...
Dust Devil says, I purchased the Savage, Powerball, and Uberschall, but they're back ordered due to the virus. Yeah.
Which ones did he get?
Savage, Powerball, and Uberschall.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, they're back ordered, huh? That sucks. They're worth waiting for, though. Excuse me, I got a yawn coming.
Better than a sneeze.
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
I was so worried that was going to come out right in the middle of the interview.
Sneezes are evil. Probably knocked that wall over.
I was like... Oh no! Luckily I got rid of a cough by drinking some water, but I had a sneeze sitting there for a good 30 seconds, and I was like, I'm doing this, trying don't
yeah, you
sneeze.
do the pinch nose
Don't
thing.
sneeze.
But yeah, I've tried the Powerball, and I really liked it a lot.
Oh, I get it. Thank you, Gabriel. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing this man's name totally wrong. Jared says that when he goes out to eat, he gets carry out.
I know.
Like Kari, carry out. That's what he was saying. I'm like, why I got to leave?
Why you gotta leave?
Why I got to leave?
No, I'm like that though. I like picking up my food and eating it at home. That's just me. I just, well,
Party pooper.
well, when you're by yourself, you can see a table for one.
Yeah, but you do that most of the time.
What?
When I'm around and we got to go get food, you just want to bring it home too.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
You're a homebody.
I'm a homebody.
Don't let the sleeveless thing.
I should be.
What? What do you have to say?
I'm not gonna say it. I should be out more. I should be going out more and doing stuff, but I don't know. I'm a homebody. Yeah, that's just who I is. I got a lot of nice gear and stuff. I hate leaving it.
He does.
It's like wild horses to pull me out of this house because I'm always playing my stuff or working. I got my website's almost done. It's almost done. I had me a meeting today with my web developer, and it's really turning out good. Yep. Well, my goal is to have it up and running by either the end of this month or the middle of the next month. I'm buying myself some extra time there, but there's just a lot of stuff I got to do. It's just I'm not even kidding you, man. Jeez.
The law is in the house.
What's up, Jamie?
Yeah.
You need to get into the synergy realm, dude. Seriously, I'd like to see you get into it.
Jay from Wormcord. My custom 3++ module is pretty sweet. I'm up to 4 modules total now.
Nice.
3 from Salvation, 1 from Synergy.
Yeah, we'll have to have a review of that, Mr. J, when you get a chance.
And a review of some more whiskey.
Yes.
And we'll smoke it for you.
Yeah, but it won't be 3-chord because that stuff tastes like poo-poo.
Tastes like shoes.
Yeah.
Bad shoes. Cheap, bad shoes.
Shoes that stepped in poo-poo.
Swanation 45. Are you looking forward to trying the EVH Stealth 50 watt?
Yes, I am. In fact, I looked them up last night, and they're still on like pre-order status. But I don't know if the whole COVID thing screwed everything up. But last I talked to Marty from Motor City, they were supposed to be there in April.
Yeah.
So he might have them. He might maybe everything got stopped because of it because he wasn't there to receive them. But yeah, they should be coming soon, and I'll guarantee you guys, as soon as those things hit the store.
Are you sweeping?
No, I got something in my eye. As soon as those things hit the store, I will be in there grabbing it, and I will go live with that thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my hands on that. That and the Fort and Sigil. I want to get me
the
one
Fort
of those.
and Sigil.
The Fort and Sigil.
Where in the world? Where in the world?
Where in the worlds?
Where do they come up with this stuff?
I
Fort
don't
and
know.
Sigil.
It's probably like a 3 a.m. Night Sweats name. They wake up and it's like, Fort and Sigil. That's what I'm going to name my amp. Okay, back to sleep. I don't know.
Hopefully they wrote it down and they misspelled it.
Yeah, they wrote it down in blood. Sigil. Sigil.
I was going to ask you something and then I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
It's alright though. You know what we need? We need a lighting guy.
I'm the lighting guy, but I did a crappy job tonight because we were in a hurry.
We were in a hurry.
I watched a house today, had a meeting with my web guy for a while, did a Skype kind of meeting tutorial with a really cool guy this morning with the Kemper. It's just a lot of work. And then I got home and set all this stuff up, and of course we had, with the Google Hangouts, we had issues that we had to do. I had to restart it like 3 times to get it to work, which is always fun. So, yeah, and the lighting was good. I don't know what happened because remember we did some tests.
A little bit of tests, but we're
kind of lobstery.
And lobstery.
Yeah.
But if any of you sorry about that.
Yeah, that was loud. Yeah.
If any of you guys know of a lighting dude that would like to come here and help us with lighting, we'll feed him some whiskey.
Well, I think tonight was an exception. Usually they look really good. Let's see here.
We are caught up. The last one, Gabriel, I'm so sorry, man, about your name.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. I know, but I keep saying Gabriel.
Yeah, I know. It's Gabriel. Yeah.
All right. He says the Vigil looks killer.
Probably Sigil is what he meant. Yeah, the Fort and Sigil is I can't wait to get my hands on that. That's going to be awesome. So I definitely want to try that one out. There's a lot of stuff I want to try out. I want to try out the neural stuff.
Neural.
Neural.
That's another nighttime name. Neural.
Mm-hmm. I'm fighting a yawn right now. So like I want to get the Neural DSP plugins and find a way to play those on the show through my interface so you guys can hear it. So I'm working on that as well as some other things. So yeah, I just can't wait to get that going.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun, you know, because those are really popular. A lot of people are checking those out now.
Jacob Allen says, "Hey man, glad to see you're doing well and got over the COVID-19.
Oh, thank you.
What's your favorite tube amp you currently own or played on the show? God bless."
Thank you so much, and good to hear from you, buddy. Yeah, it's taken me. You know, the thing is with when I got better, when the fevers stopped, it took me at least a week and a half to actually be semi-normal again. It was a very long process. I'm still not normal. Yeah, I still don't have a sense of smell. It comes and goes. Like, there's times I can't smell anything. It was funny because she was over here, like, was it a week ago? And the trash can opened up. I got an automatic trash can. And you know how you get those chicken packages that you throw out?
And the litter poo.
Yeah, and she opened it up to throw something away. She's like, oh my God.
Like, foofed up right in my face.
And I'm
it
like,
nearly killed me.
I'm like, watch this. I stuck my face in the trash can and just snorted. I sniffed everything that was in there, and I couldn't smell it.
And then after that, you sniffed the peppermint essential oil. And he's like, I'm like, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't smell it. Look.
I stuck it up my nose and I snorted a bunch of peppermint up my nose.
It was burning him. He could feel it burning, but he couldn't smell it.
I couldn't smell it. So yeah, my sense of smell is gone. So that's a bad thing though, because
You gotta be careful with that though.
Yeah.
You can still hurt yourself.
Yeah, I know. Because there's, because geez, leaving the stove on and not realizing the house is filling up with gas, that's not a good thing. So now I always check my burners. It's weird, man. But anyways, getting to your question, the best tube amp that I've played on the show, honestly, the VX Super Kraken, you can't go wrong with that amp. It's just an absolutely amazing amp. Every single time I plug into that thing, I'm like, why don't I play this 24 hours a day? I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. So I think that as far as features, price, build quality, sound, and feel, the VX Super Kraken is it. Now, if you're looking for something and more of the affordable kind of thing, more affordable, like, under $1,000, the PRS MT15 is unbeatable for the price. It's an amazing amplifier. So those two right there are fantastic,
Gabriel, I did it again. No, that's right. Gabriel is right.
Yeah, you said it right this time.
He's laughing at your smelling stories, saying they're Scarface style.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Say hello to my little trash can. It was bad. She's like, oh, my God. I could not smell the rotten chicken in my trash. I literally couldn't.
It was...
And to her, it was like gag. It was like she was gagging. And I'm like, I can't smell it. Literally could not smell it. Let me just say this. This is something that people probably never say, but I miss my farts. I really do. That's how bad it is. I want to smell so bad that I'm actually willing to put up with them again. Because I miss my sense of smell. Hey, we all know we like our own brand.
I'm speechless. I think we have to go now.
Time for carry out. I do.
I can't help you with this one, man. I can't help you.
Well, I don't miss yours, so I'll put it that way. You walked right into that one. You walked right into that one. Doop de doop. That was awesome.
Oh my gosh. Everybody's laughing. LOL. LOL. Damn. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh.
Hey, we all like our own brand, and you know it, so clap your hands.
If you know it.
Yeah, it's the way it is, man.
Gabriel, because I said it right this time. Which neural DSP is the best? Pellini, Cali, Abasi?
It's a good question because I have not played any of them. I've just heard them, and I want to play them. really bad, but I need to find a way to do it so that you guys can hear it too. There is a way to do it. I just gotta get with the tech to do it, because I really want to have a night where I just do Neural DSP stuff, like the Fort Nameless, all this stuff that's out, and I keep hearing everybody raves about it like crazy, and I'm missing out on it all because I don't I haven't put in the time to do a live stream with it yet.
Jason Taylor says, I personally like the Polini and any other the Fortin plugins. Nolly isn't bad either. I think they're all pretty well done.
Sweet. Yeah, I've always heard good things about them. I have not heard anything negative yet. So I'm like, and that new Neural DSP, when that comes out, I think that's going to take the market by storm. I think it's going to really be a huge hit.
We got a super chat.
Oh, what's up,
Your
mofo?
farts got us a super chat.
Sweet.
Thank you, you mofo. He says, here's hoping you and your farts are reunited.
It'll be a glorious day, I'll tell you.
This is why he likes to eat at home.
Exactly. You can't do that at a restaurant and get away with it, right?
Jay says, my dog is farting like crazy lately, and it's killing me.
Dog farts are the worst. They're almost as bad as yours. She gonna kill me tonight? She gonna kill me? I'm on a tear. I should probably... how far can you reach?
A lot farther than that.
Oh, I keyed.
I keyed. All right, well, it's 9:45, you turd.
Oh, man. All right. Well, it's 9:45, and...
I got school in the morning.
You got school in the morning. All right, woman. Well, hey, thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And I seriously thank you for coming all the way out and doing this tonight. It was... it's always better with you, so I appreciate you. I'm sucking up right now. Because I'm about to die.
I hear a pair of sorrels calling my name.
Oh, do ya? I hear a pair of sorrels that are going to go up my keister.
Covered in your parts now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. And I'm so glad you could join us tonight. More sucking up. And Sunday night, we'll put something together for you guys. I'll have something going, because you're going to be back on this one. So
maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see if sorrels arrive for my feet.
Exactly, for my footses. Yeah.
Expedited shipping.
Overnight. So yeah, we'll get together and put something together for you guys, and then so keep your eye on the community section and look for that. So yeah, this was fun. This was really fun. I was so glad John could join us. And if you haven't looked into the Synergy stuff, I'm not kidding you. There's a reason why it's by far one of my favorite rigs. It's because it's just amazing. It's very versatile. It's very well made. It's affordable. Well built, sounds amazing, and there's so many modules to choose from and so many different tones that you can use, and it's portable. Like, I mean, I got 8 channels right here I can carry with me anywhere I go, and it hardly weighs anything, so it's awesome. So anyways, all right, guys, well, we're gonna take off, and again, thank you so much for joining us, and every day is a gift. Please keep that in mind. That's something I've learned, and I always want to make sure I tell you that. You guys have a good night. See you soon.